I don't know if really people exist to that extent, like what Siddhartha Abhimanyu existed.
Yeah.
The fun part of it is already over. Now, if I do it, I'll just be doing it to, cater to another audience or make money. It's not something that really interests me.
Someday would you be directing a film of yours?
Absolutely, I sincerely.
What about this something you have written in Twitter also? That about not doing, something about Ajit and Vijay.
Texting him saying that don't expect miracles, and he replied saying, I do.
What next?
I'm back at my office. I'm developing some interesting apps for my company. Yeah, we were there globally. We were in the US, we were in Australia, we were in Europe. I actually didn't watch a single Tamil movie, I think, for 7 years. Because I was unwell, I had a spinal injury, I was immobile, I had a partial paralysis. Strict diet. Strict in the sense, it's not about not eating, it's about actually, I used to eat 6 to 8 meals a day. Single parenting my kids and all
Okay,
that. So,
your personal life.
Personal life. So my eldest is in college and my younger one is in the 10th. I'm not the perfect daddy. I try to do my best. My kids don't watch, haven't watched any of my movies till date. A parent is always a parent. Whether you're married or not, you're going to be continuing parenting. I already got married 3 years back. I got remarried 3 years back. She's a lawyer by profession, but she's a mediator for the World Bank and some related projects.
Welcome to another edition of India Glitz presents Red Carpet. And this week we have the hot and happening bad guy around the town, Siddhartha Abhimanyu. Welcome to Red Carpet.
Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you so much.
You're the toast of the town. The movie has went on to phenomenal business and it is already crossed 50 crores. It's a very big achievement and people are saying it's because of you. What's your comment?
First of all, thank you. I think on behalf of the entire team, I must thank everyone who supported us, who watched the movie, and we're glad we could provide something like that. But it would be very undeserving for me to take all the credit. I appreciate that people like my work in the film, but director Mohan Raja, it was his concept, his idea, and Ravi, and everybody else, who Thambi Ramaya, Sir Nazar, everybody worked on the film.
First, when Mohan Raja approached you, why did you take up that role? Because Mohan Raja is known for his remakes and all that, and you're coming from the Mani Sir school.
I don't think both of them are trying to make good films. Just because somebody makes a remake, I don't think any less of them. It's their choice of a story. In the West, as you would know, there are people who write stories, there are people who write screenplays, and there are people who direct. They're all different facets of filmmaking. Only here it's all, if you're expected to be... here it's not compartmentalized in the sense that if you're expected to direct a film, you're expected to come with a story as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not a quality that I'm looking at. Mr. Mohan Raja has produced very successful films and he's technically very capable. As long as he's had something interesting for me and a good story, I never thought of it as someone who, working with someone who made a remake, etc. It's only the vision and the thought. And people also, you might start off making one kind of a movie and do something else. So it depends on...
But you took some time to decide on that.
No, in a sense that when he came to me first, he was very passionate about this role. About, this particular Siddhartha Abhimanyu character. It was not, we didn't have that name then, but the anti-hero was the central character in the film, in a sense that everything works against him or around him, in a sense. So he was very passionate that this needed to be almost like the highlight of the film. Not to take away from any other role, but he was very passionate and clear about this. So at a very high level, there was a meeting of the minds in terms of, he wanted to keep this role, like I said, as a central thing, and he wanted to be the ultimate bad guy in a sense. And I've always wanted to play something negative, which was unapologetic. So there was a marriage of ideas in that sense.
Okay.
Then beyond that, we had to sketch the character because I had an interpretation of it, and he had obviously he's the director and he controls the script, so he is going to say yes or no. But when we started interacting, a lot of what I suggested was acceptable to him. So there was
he incorporated that into the script.
Into my character, the way my character would behave, the way my way we would approach the character, the way he would. See, as an actor, I need to create a framework for the character in my mind. That's how I work. So I keep thinking about the character framework. And then when there are certain things that are a little, which kind of go towards the edges of that framework, then I say, why should we do this? Why can't we? So it's like that. But within the framework, I wanted him to be, every scene I wanted to express some aspect of him.
Okay.
Like when he's under pressure, how would he react? When he's when no one's watching and he has power, how would he react? When how does he deal with let's say his relationships in his life?
Yeah.
Does it is he emotional about it, or does he use people? Everything has to be consistent.
உண்மை ஜெயிக்கிறதுக்கு தாண்டா ஆதாரம் தேவை. பொய் ஜெயிக்கிறதுக்கு குழப்பமே போதும்.
Arvind, looking back at your career, initially you started with a flourish of a lot of movies, and you were doing mainly Mani Sir films, and then you went to Hindi, you did Priyan Sir's movie and other things. Now, why did you go away in 2000? What were the, why did you take that big break?
Firstly, that's because when I came in, I wasn't planning to be in movies or anything like that. When I came in, it was not my ambition to. It just so happened that I started working in Talabadi by chance.
No, you were a model and then you came to...
Yeah, even modeling is not something that I was enjoying. I mean, I did something I did for pocket money in college, that's all. And as maybe I thought it was cool to be in ads or whatever it is at that age.
Then Santosh and Mani Sir.
Yeah, so they wanted me to act in Talabadi, and I quite enjoyed that role. But even after Roja, I was not here for the release. I went to study abroad. I was not here. So it's only between Roja and Bombay that I actually did my masters. I went for my masters. So when I came back, both my parents passed away in '93. So I couldn't go back to office and get away from that tragedy that '93 was. So I thought maybe if I get involved in a film, especially with Mani, because he works, makes you work a lot. I thought it might be personally a good distraction for me as well to get over that thing. So Bombay did exactly that for me. But at some point in time, I realized that if I'm going to be doing this all my life, then I'm going to be just closeted in this particular I'm not saying industry, but I'm saying in this particular field or profession or whatever. I'm somebody who wants to do a lot of other things. So this is not the only thing I want to do in my life. But I enjoyed my acting. I was stifled by the stardom. I didn't enjoy the stardom.
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
No, I didn't enjoy the stardom.
Why?
I was not prepared for it. It's not like I wanted to go out
and... you got stardom on a platter, almost on a platter.
We worked hard for it, but what I'm trying to say is nationally, the kind of recognition that both Roja, Bombay, all of the films.
I think Roja is in a way bigger than what Tani Oruvan is today, that the kind of image that it got you nationally.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it was a mega hit in all the languages.
In all the languages, a mega hit.
Yeah.
And the songs, everything, the reach was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And they accepted you as a mainstream Bollywood hero, and you could have successfully graduated there.
Yeah, but that is not my interest, or that is not my. It's what you want to do, right? It's not something that I wanted to do.
So what caught your attention at that particular period? What type of business were you doing?
No, it's not about just doing kind of business or whatever that attracted me. I wanted to first get away from here, get away from the limelight, so to speak. I didn't like the limelight. So I wanted to get away from that and do something which is totally, unconnected with what I had been experiencing. So we started a business where we were doing process outsourcing. We were doing different processes. We were doing primarily payroll.
Basically, in the early ages of IT industry, early stages.
Yes.
You were there at that time.
Yeah, I mean, we were there globally. We were in the US, we were in Australia, we were in Europe.
And you were very successful at that, doing what?
We did fairly well, yes. And that was a great learning experience for me as well. Because, again, for me, what interests me most is when I don't know anything and I'm getting into something. And the process of learning is what is the most interesting part.
But during that time when you went away from movies, did you keep in touch with?
Movies? No.
No?
I actually didn't watch a single Tamil movie, I think, for 7 years.
My God,
Yeah.
7 years you didn't watch movies.
I didn't.
Okay, and you never used to go to you never kept pace with anybody.
No. I didn't.
So for 7 years, no movies, nothing.
I think 7 or maybe 8. I didn't
8
watch.
years?
Yeah, 7, 8 years I didn't watch. And the reason I started watching again was because I think, I'm not sure, Filmfare or somebody asked me to be a part of the jury or head the jury or something like that. So I said okay, and I had to watch films. So that's when I started watching. I think from 2008 or something, I watched all the films that were shortlisted. And then I started, watching Tamil films.
Yeah, during that time, I think you were still keeping a contact with Mani sir.
Not much, actually. Not much. Not much with anybody from the film industry, actually. I mean,
Were you living a recluse lifestyle, or
I was leading a lifestyle that was totally, till 2005, there was a lot of work. I used to work like 18, 20 hours a day, literally, because we were dealing with multiple time zones and things like that. Then I think 2003, 2004, after that I was also single parenting my kids and all
Okay,
that. So
your personal life.
Personal life. So so I was in my own world, in a sense. I was a little disconnected from the movie world or whatever, because I had my hands full doing other things.
how's your kids now?
But they're all grown up. And
they are grown up and they're on their own individual way there. Or?
not really. I mean, they're studying. My eldest is in college, and my younger one is in the 10th. So
Okay, but hats off to you for being a single parent and bringing them up.
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, that period also was a difficult period? Or?
nothing was difficult at all, actually. Even when I got injured and all that, I don't like to see things I just see things as they are. So I don't see it, and I mean, any situation I don't see and say it could have been better, it should have. I don't like this could have, should have, would have kind of.
But you are the
thing.
perfect daddy.
I'm not the perfect daddy. I try to do my best. I don't think I'm the perfect daddy, but yeah, I mean, I do my best, and I do have shortcomings in everything that I do. I'm a human being, and I try to work on them. I realize them, and I try to make it right.
What about this something you have written in Twitter also, that about not doing, I mean, something about Ajit and Vijay? And
No,
what
it's
was
just
that?
I respect everybody in the industry. It's
Yeah.
not. I have a lot of love for everybody in the industry, and whenever I meet people, they express the same kind of love. And because I've been in this industry since the 90s, for whatever reason, I might not have done too many films, but I've been in this industry for a long time.
Each of the everybody.
I know everybody, and I have a lot of love and respect. And I'm not somebody who has anything negative to say about anybody at all. I appreciate everybody's work, but you know how the social media sometimes can. There are people waiting to twist certain things around,
twist out of
and I'm a
context.
little, like I said, I'm very inexperienced when it comes to social media, etc. And so I was genuinely answering certain questions that were put forward in that, but I've learned my lesson, and I will not be answering anything about anybody else.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so don't ask me questions about any other actor, etc. I love them all, I respect them all, and I have the greatest regard for my friends from the industry, and I've known them all for a long time. So, and everybody knows that I have nothing negative to say about anybody. So, these are all things that are I don't like such negativity, and I don't want to be part of that, and I don't want to be even a cause of that, indirectly or directly, if I've done something, because typing something is different from speaking it. You don't have a facial expression, you're just reading the words. So it's I don't need to talk about. I don't need to answer questions that are put to me about other actors in the industry. I'll love everybody. That's all I want to say.
That's a very good answer.
Yeah.
எனக்கு பேர் சாம். நான் தான் சர்ச்சுக்கு புதுசா வந்த ஃபாதரா.
How did you come back with Karan?
Actually, I was physically unwell because I had my spinal injury.
Yeah.
And took me a while to recover from that. And so by the time, I think quite a few years had passed. Like Kadal was in 2012.
Yeah, 11 I think.
11, 12 we started working. So by then it was almost like a decade had passed me quitting from the film industry, and I had no.
What was the single urge to come back to
There was no urge to come back at all. That's why I'm coming to say that a decade had passed and I had no interest on coming back. So it was like almost like a full circle. Like just like when I started, I had no urge to be in films. At 2010-11, I had no urge to be in films at all. But Mani called me and then he said, you're better now, so get cracking and let's do a film kind of a thing. So I said, I was like literally surprised that, he's calling me to do a film because
So
I was.
Mani again had a very influential role.
Yeah, Mani had an influential role, not just for Kadal or, these are, professional aspects of life, but I'm saying personally for my life, he's the one who motivated me to get into shape.
Okay, you're overweight, bloated.
Not about bloated because I was unwell. I had a spinal injury. I was immobile. I had a partial paralysis. I was under medication, treatment, and all that. So it has a toll on the body. But even after I became better, I didn't have the confidence to get back into full-time exercise program or whatever. I didn't know whether it was possible, right, to get back into, because the fear of pain is always looming in your mind that something could happen again, or would I strain my spine again, kind of a thing. But he gave me a timeline and he says, no, you can't do it, kind of a thing. And actually for the 2 months, I think in September, he literally texted me every day, saying, kept pushing me, have you done this, have you worked out today, have you done this, it was like that. So I told him, I said,
he is your guru and mentor, everything rolled into one.
Yeah, he means a lot to me for various reasons. This being a very important one, that he actually, because when I told him, I said, I don't know if I'm doing the film, but I'll take your advice to get into shape.
Okay.
So after which we I went back to meet him, and then he was, actually I remember still texting him saying, don't expect miracles. But by then I had actually, I think in about, 1.5 months, I had lost almost close to 18, 19, 20 kilos, I think, 1.5
Wow,
months.
19 kilos.
Yeah, 18, 19 kilos, I think.
The physical exercise also.
Physical exercise and diet.
Strict diet.
Strict diet. Strict in the sense, it's not about not eating. It's about actually, I used to eat 6 to 8 meals a day. Small meals of 6 to 8 meals of healthy food, but a lot of exercise. So actually, I remember texting him on my way to see him. Okay, I told him, I said, I won't see you till I reach a target. So once I reach target, I'll come and meet you. So when I went to meet him, I still remember texting him saying that don't expect miracles. And he replied saying, I do.
That's money, sir.
Yeah. These are things that are very memorable and unforgettable for me. The impact that, the way he pushed me to do what I did.
And you will still continue parenting your kids, or will you be getting a marriage or something like that into?
No, a parent is always a parent. Whether you're married or not, you're going to be continuing parenting. I already got married 3 years back. I got remarried 3 years back.
So,
we're all
something
very happy. Sorry?
Something about your...
Oh, she's a lawyer by profession. But she's a mediator for the World Bank and some related projects and all that.
So nothing connected with the
Nothing connected with the movies at all. She's, somebody I know from my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah. Her family has been
Her name?
Aparna.
Aparna.
Aparna Mukherjee. Her family has been involved in, her grand aunt is Captain Lakshmi Sehgal.
Wow.
And Vikram Sarabhai.
Okay.
Govind Swaminathan is her grandfather. And her father's side, her grandfather is Air Chief Marshal Subrata Mukherjee, who was the first Air Chief Marshal of India.
Yeah, I know that.
So yeah, so that's
And
the
how's
family and
marriage working out for you?
oh, awesome. I couldn't have been happier. So
Did Aparna watch Tani Oruvan? What's her
Absolutely.
comments?
she's very excited. She loved it, and so did my kids. Actually, my kids don't watch. I haven't watched any of my movies till date. But they watched Tani Oruvan, and I think my son is going today for the fourth time. I think. So,
Fourth time he's going to see.
yeah, he took his friends. He went with some other members of the family, and so it's they're all excited about the movie. And
So they are all behind you. They want you to do more films. What does Aparna say?
Aparna says, do what you want, and that's because I mean, it's a lovely home now, and everybody's in a sense grown up. Everybody's like fairly independent, whatever. So she says, do what you have to do. I mean, if you need to do work, this kind of work, do. Or she's quite encouraging of whatever I do. There's no expectation that I must do only this or that. She's quite confident that I think that I will do fairly well in whatever I try, and it's important for her that I'm happy. So, she's cut me loose.
வெளிச்சத்தில் இருக்கிறவன் தாண்டா இருட்டை பார்த்து பயப்படுவான். நான் இருட்டிலேயே வாழ்றவன். I'm not bad. Just evil.
What next?
I'm back at my office doing my stuff.
Come off it. After the biggest hit like this, you're going back.
Yeah, I'm back at my office doing my stuff. In fact, a lot of the actors from the industry have been calling. They really like the film, and also they've been appreciating the work. So when they call, and some of them have been asking, so what's next? And then I say, I'm back at the office, and they have a pretty similar reaction like this.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, because I'm obligated to my customers and my employees as well, and I'm not in any hurry to do another film. I've never been someone who wants to capitalize on something like that, etc.
But if a kick-ass script
No,
comes along,
yeah, I'm not saying I'm not going to do a film. I'm just saying I need to take my time to. I'm developing some interesting apps for my company.
oh, you're developing into apps.
Yeah, so I need to finish that project, and
You haven't signed any new projects as of now.
no, I finished a Hindi film called Dear Dad, which is produced by Guneet and Shan and all of Lunchbox and Hassan and all that.
Yeah.
They are-
But that was there for the last, I think, much before, Tani Oruvan release, you had finished the movie, right?
Yes, about 3-4 months back we finished the movie. That's in post-production now. So that will come out in maybe Jan, maybe they'll take it to a couple of
What about
festivals.
this stories making the rounds that all you're going to play the same role in Telugu and in Hindi? Your comments on that?
I'll wait for Raja actually to, director Mohan Raja to finalize and give his inputs. But the thing is, for me, I don't work in too many films. So I'd rather use my time to do something new rather than because we've already done a lot of work for the character. What should be there, what should not be there, how the character should respond, what he should speak, what he should not speak. Everything we've worked on, how he should look. Even I'm saying including parts of the story, etc., which people like today. I'm saying we've discussed and done it already as a team. We've made those choices. So if somebody wants to replicate that, it's easy for them to
So
replicate
what
it
you're
or
saying
innovate
is
it.
that you don't want to do it.
The fun part of it is already over. Now if I do it, I'll just be doing it to cater to another audience or make money. It's not something that really interests me. I'd rather because I need to spend a few months at my office with my customers, my people, and my team to develop certain things and
Yeah, you were telling me about
yeah.
apps and all.
So once that is done, then I will have to start my next Tamil film. I'd rather use that opportunity to do something else that interests me rather than doing the same thing again.
So chances
sure there
of
are a lot of-
Aravind Swamy doing the remakes are very remote. He is more interested in doing a Pakka Tamil script.
Yeah, to be honest, that is the truth. But I will respect what Mr. Mohan Raja decides and says. If he's going to be doing the remakes, then respect what he says.
Because you're an idea man basically, and you
Yeah.
said you worked out the script. So someday would you be directing a film of yours?
Absolutely, I sincerely hope that I do that sooner than later. Right now, I don't have the bandwidth because direction is something where you need to consciously sit down and dedicate that amount of time, be it in the writing, be it in the evolution of all the characters, to how you're going to do the screenplay, to your shots, to everything else. And you need a team, and you need to invest that much of time and energy. At least that's how I'd like to do it. And I don't have that bandwidth right now to do that. So I will make the time to. But I've written my scripts. I've written quite a few.
You have the scripts ready already.
Yeah, I have the scripts ready. I have the stories ready. I have some of the scripts ready.
Yeah. So why sooner or later you will be doing a film, which you will be acting? Or?
Yeah, no, I don't. If I direct, I won't act for
Okay.
sure, because I'd like to focus on the job at hand, which I think is quite complex. So I don't want to dilute it in any way by standing in front of the camera also and doing that. I don't, like I said, I don't like the limelight. I'd rather do my work and create something interesting. That's my motive.
So Aravind, it was very nice speaking to you, and I wish all your dreams come true, and I hope someday you'll direct a film soon.
Thank you very much, Sridhar. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.